Hey everyone, this is Laurie, and I am coming to you with some information about cleaning up your classroom page or cleaning out older Google Classrooms or archiving or deleting, all of that stuff. So basically, it's just a general cleanup, and you can do this at any time of the year. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the or the end of the year. It doesn't just have to be in the middle. It can be at any time during the year. So I just want to go ahead and talk to you really quickly about the difference between archiving and deleting. So the first thing is archiving is putting it into a holding space where you can only view the work that's in there. So you can only view the posts that are in there. You can only view everything. You can't do anything with it. That includes not being able to copy over any posts that you want to use from an older classroom in your classroom this year. So keep that in mind. If you want to keep using material from an older classroom, you need to keep that still in your regular classroom area on the classroom page, and you don't want to archive it, and you definitely don't want to delete it. So before you delete a Google Classroom, I would really think about that, because what that does is it deletes it forever. It goes away forever. So I don't really suggest doing that. But archiving is fine. It works just good enough, and we do have unlimited unlimited storage within our Google accounts. So it's not to worry if you fill that up. Not a big deal. Plus, if you put something in archive, you can actually bring it back into regular Google Classroom so that you can use anything that you want to reuse again. Okay? So this is how you do an archive. I'm just going to go ahead. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to find one that I want to archive. So this one, Get Googly. I'm going to go ahead and archive this. This is all I have to do is I click on the kebab, the three dots, and I click on archive. And then it asks me, do I want to archive it? And I'm going to say, yes, I want to archive it. Takes a minute or so. Okay, done. It's archived. Now you're probably thinking, well, where did it go? Wait a minute. What if I want to get back to it? So I'm going to go ahead and bring Get Googly back. I'm going to click on the hamburger. And then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to click on Archived Classes. And what comes up are all of my archived classes. So I'm going to go ahead and find Get Googly. There it is. Going to click on the kebab. And I'm going to click on Restore. And then click on Restore again. So it asks me again, do I want to restore it? Yes, I do. I want to restore it. So now it's restored. And to go back to my classrooms, I'm going to click on the hamburger, click on classes. Let's see if it's there. I think it's back down at the bottom again. There it is. Same place it was. Okay. So if you're going to keep a classroom active, so these are all my active classrooms right now. If you're going to keep an old class active, oh, it just popped up to the top. If you're going to keep an older class active, you have to consider about the students that are in it, right? Because do you really want them to be going back into that Google Classroom? Also, when they go into their Google Classrooms, do you want them to see one of these cards for your classroom? You probably don't. You want to help them have a nice clean classroom as well. So they can go ahead and leave an older classroom. That's not a problem. They can do that. But also you can remove the students from the classroom. And just so you know, that doesn't mean that all of their work goes away. Basically what that means is they are no longer able to get into the Google Classroom. It's still there. It's still active for you, but they're not able to get back into it and, I don't know, pull up an old post and respond to it, all of that stuff. So basically they are able to get into the work that they did in your Google Classroom last year by going through the Google Drive. So they still have their work, not a problem. They just can't get back into the Google Classroom. So what we're suggesting is that to go ahead and make it so that kids aren't like going into or have all these other Google Classrooms that they can get into, or they have a really messy looking active Google Classroom page. We are suggesting that for those classes that are over, so the classes from the 2019, 2020 year, or anything older than that, if you want to keep that classroom active because you want to use some of the material in there, that's totally fine, but we're asking that you go ahead and delete the students. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go into my example classroom and I'm going to show you, oops, I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to show you how I delete students from there. So I only have 2 students in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and if I had like a long list of students and I am going to remove all of them from the Google Classroom, I just click on this top box right here. That's it. And then I go over here to Actions and I click on Remove. So if I click on Remove, it asks me, and it'll give you the whole list of your students. Are you sure you want to remove these students? You're going to click on Remove. And they're removed. And you'll see this little picture that says, and it says Invite below, and that means that there are no students in your classroom. That's great. The other thing that you can do, just in case, if you want to be really careful, is go to Settings. On invite codes, you click here where it says enabled and you click on disable. And now no one is able to use the code. Basically, no one is able to get in. So that kind of locks it down even further. And one last thing I want to show you is on the classes page. So again, these are all my active Google Classrooms. I can go ahead and move things around. Just click and drag them around to be in the order that I want them to be in. And that's it. That's cleaning up your Google Classroom page.